Shalom. Welcome to the 12th Annual International Feast of Tabernacles, being held at the fabulous Barclay Hotel, Atlanta's most convenient address, where we are being reminded to keep the laws of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Yahweh and be blessed. Again, welcome. I would want you to remember to be sure and get the book, The Widow's Son Raised by Yahweh and Yahweh. The show is on as a series, and this book is certainly a companion book, and it will be ready shortly after the feast. So the reality is this is a limited edition. So you want to be first in line to get the book. Place your order while you're at the feast, and you will be blessed for doing so. Remember to pay Yahweh and yourself first. Remember, you do not touch that which you pay yourself first with. There is no emergency. There is nothing that goes on in life that shall cause you to touch what you put up for yourself. Obey my will, and you will always be blessed. Yahweh will make a way for you who obey this commandment. The word lets you know clearly, if you love me, keep my commandments. And I'm saying this to you so that you will be blessed. Too many people feel that, well, if I just pay my tithes, it doesn't matter about me. It does matter about you by virtue of the fact that I'm commanding you to pay Yahweh and yourself first, before anything, before all things. This is the only way that you can fulfill Psalms chapter 82, verse 6, as God. Have you not heard that you are God? Have I not told you that you are God? Do I not teach you that you are God? Do I not teach how to become God? It's within your realm to fulfill Matthew 5:48, to be perfect, as your Father in heaven is perfect. And rule number one, pay Yahweh and yourself first, will put your life in order. There is no way for you to truly be blessed finding excuses to put something before Yahweh and yourself first. Think about it. Relax. Perhaps tonight after class or when you go to bed, relax up on the bed and just think about how powerful it is to put Yahweh and then yourself first. Think about what this means as an ever-increasing blessing. Pay Yahweh and yourself first. This is the salvation of true believers. And true believers are going to manifest what I am teaching. This is the foundation for the citizens of the nation of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, true holiness and righteousness. Pay Yahweh and yourself first. You have the book on it. It's not just enough to have books and read and know where the scripture is, that you are God's, or that you know where the scripture is to be ye also perfect as the Father in heaven is perfect. You must actually have faith, as I taught you on last night. The faith of Noah, the faith of Abraham, the faith of Isaac, the faith of Moses, the faith of all the great men of the Bible. This is what's going to make a difference in your life. Faith is, you may not know where you're going, but Yahweh said go. And when you have faith like Abraham, you go. The blessing, life eternal. What is more important? A temporary pleasure is more important than life eternal that is full of nothing but eternal pleasure? Think about it. It's so easy to read, love Yahweh with your all. It is so easy. So easy to learn the scripture where it's located in the Bible, but where is it located in your heart? Is it located in your heart? It is one thing to read, you are God's. It is another thing to say you are God's, but will you receive the reality? It's all about receiving this reality. You can believe on my name. You can believe in the name. But will you receive the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and the power in my name for yourself? It's not enough to claim it like it's magic. Will you portray it? That's what I'm building. That's what I'm sacrificing for. Is so that you can manifest to the world the power of Yahweh in your life, so that the rest of the world can come and experience the power in their lives. We're talking about true believers. You have to make up your mind as to whether you're going to be a true believer or just around and say, I believe, I believe. A true believer is known by works. Greatest work, pay Yahweh and yourself first. Never touch what you have for yourself. And Yahweh will make a way for you. And that's real. It is a fact. Live it and be blessed. Again, as the program you have for the Convention magazine, for Feast of Tabernacles, is keep the laws of Yahweh and be blessed. Keep them. And I've been starting on the theme for you believers are kept. You already have the book started, the volume of this theme. Believers are kept in the Father's name. Tonight, I'm going to speak to you on, and my subject is, believers are kept in safety. Isn't that comforting to the mind? Believers are kept in safety. I am now with you in the world. No more do you have to worry about, am I coming? When am I coming? How will I come? All of that mystery is now defined and made a reality with my coming. I am now with you here in the world. And you that receive me, you are my witnesses. You are my witnesses that I keep you in the name of my Holy Father, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh. You need to take advantage of my being with you now. The purpose of my coming in the flesh, it is many, 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 many reasons. One of the reasons is so that you can behold the glory of my Father while I'm in the flesh. I demonstrate that you can become God in the flesh. For none of you were more blind than myself. None of you were in more darkness than myself. The fact that I am raised from the grave means you can raise yourself from the grave just as I have done. Don't look upon me as magic. I'm an example of you and what you are to do, what you can do. I am now with you in the world, and you are my witnesses. What makes my coming unique is Yahweh gives some of you to know that I am his son. Some of you know that I am the Messiah. There is no question in your mind. You know it. You know that I am God in the flesh as the Son. You know that. My Holy Father, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, gave you to me. You didn't do it on your own. He gave you to me. And after having given you to me, I have kept you safely. And none of you is lost. Only the sons of perdition are lost, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. The sons of perdition are those who, after hearing the truth of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh, will reject it. Know it is the truth. Reject it. Know it is the truth. Refuse to study. Know that I come with the truth. Refuse to receive it. Refuse to live it. Refuse to be. I have demonstrated these 13 years that you can take nothing and make something. I have taught you family. And I've taught you that living as family is your salvation. And that is the only way to survive the hard times. I taught you, demonstrated to you, that you must refuse to continue as the sons and daughters of Pharaoh in America. Every job that you have is a result of a business. The people upon whom you depend are in a business. And it's from the income of this business that pays your salary. And the people upon whom you have been depending are going out of business, like a ship is sinking. And you have a choice. Continue to fight over an ever-decreasing job market, or rise and go into business as family, profitably as family. All this is deeper than some individuals saying they love Yahweh and open up some type of store. You have to be a true believer. And if you go into business as a true believer, then you are kept in safety. Now, I have given a wealth of information of how to be successful. And you have been given some information during this particular Feast of Tabernacles on how to be successful and how to thrive as family. But what is it? Fear? Fear? Remember, perfect love casteth out all fear. So you need to perfect your love. You need to become a perfect lover. Not be content to be there and love, but to be a perfect lover. As for me, I have ascended on high, showing you that you too have the opportunity to ascend on high. As gods, you will ascend on high. You shall ascend on high. It is not enough for you to gaze upward and look at my ascension and say, oh my, Yahweh ben Yahweh is God. He has ascended. Yes, you not heard that you were gods? Then you too shall ascend. Oh, are you just going to ascend with wings, or it's going to be like a magic elevator? You get on, punch a button, and you just go up? Yes, you can do it that way if you build the elevator. If your mind is tied to the physical, then you'll have to build a physical elevator. If you understand that this is spiritual, then you must build your spiritual elevator and ascend. I have led captivity captive. Why? Why should I lead captivity captive? You think that you have nothing to do? Your safety is understanding that you must lead captivity captive. That which holds you captive, you must take it captive. That which has held you in captivity, you must take that captivity and put it into captivity. Hold it captive. Not let it dominate your mind anymore. In your childish dreams of my teaching, some of you just had the dream of taking some other people and putting them into a prison, I guess, or some such foolish thought of taking your enemy and get some walls and become the new prison keeper, such as he. He has physical prisons because his mind is base. He's limited. He cannot be perfect. The sons of perdition cannot be perfect because they choose the opposite of perfection. Therefore, they cannot enter the gates of perfection. So they hold men captive on a physical level. I didn't come on the earth to build prisons. They're already built. I come to open the prison. Remember Isaiah chapter 61?
This call will be taken.
Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Bethlehem Zophid, Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh ben Yahweh, is not entered into the holy places made with hands. There are many holy places made with hands. They're called temples, mosques, churches, sanctuaries, all made by the hands of men. And those are not the places that I have entered into. I don't seek to enter into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true. That's all. They are but a sign and a figure of the true. So in my case, I have entered into heaven itself. This is not about your entering into the holy places made with hands, buildings, which are figures of the true. This is about you entering into heaven itself. Now, how do you ascend without understanding the meaning of ascension? How do you know heaven until you're able to define heaven? How do you know a holy place unless you can define holiness? And it's not enough to simply read about it. It's not enough to simply define it as it's found in a book, but to actually live this experience. That's what I have done. You must do it. You can do it because I have. I come through the seed of Abraham as yourself, proving what I do, you can do. Angels and authorities and powers are being made subject unto me. Up until now, you would cheer about that. You would clap about that. If I were in your presence, you would probably all be standing, jumping up to the roof when I say that. Because you used to. That's what you used to do. You used to jump to the ceiling. When I would say things like, angels, authorities, and powers are being made subject unto me. And you would just clap and you would cheer. You know what? You were clapping and cheering for me. And never accepted and received this for yourself. Tonight, I'm making it clear that true believers are kept in safety. How are you kept in safety? It's because from now on, you have to receive the reality that angels shall be made subject unto you. You must receive the reality that authority are ready to be made subject unto you. You must accept the reality and receive the reality that now powers are ready to be made subject unto you. Now, there are some who are not ready for this simply because you know this means responsibility. And some are not ready for the responsibility of self. Some are not ready to demonstrate the faith that Moses did in our subject on last night by refusing to be known as a son of the daughter of Pharaoh. Refused it. It takes faith to refuse being a son and daughter of America, symbolized by you carrying their name, the slave name. It's a shame before the world to come into the knowledge of your God and not carry a name after your God. And you prefer to have a slave name, a name that you received on the plantation that identifies you as his property. You haven't discovered that freeing you in 1865 was a joke. It was not real. It was a cruel and mean trick played upon you to make you think you were free when in reality you had nothing that was taken from you that destroyed your freedom. Had you truly been conscious, you would have demanded your names back. And if he did not give them to you, freedom means you name yourself. And if you had been truly free, you would have named yourself after your God, Yahweh, because you would know the power in the name, the glory in the name, Yahweh, the honor in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the power in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the authority in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the strength in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the benevolence in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the charity in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the morality in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the wealth and the riches in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, the sovereignty in the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, because all of these attributes and characteristics instantaneously become yours through your name, which connects you to the name, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, all power, omni. You must study ascension. You must gain wisdom of ascension. You must gain knowledge of ascension. You must study and gain understanding of my ascension so that you can understand your ascension. Some of you take for granted that you know what my ascension is. One day you will hear the words, Yahweh ben Yahweh has ascended to Galilee. What would many of you do? Being carnal-minded, being base-minded, still holding on to Pharaoh, you're going to look for a physical place where my body is. And you have been where my body is, some of you, for 13 years, some 12, 10, 8, and have not accepted any of the power that I demonstrate, have not accepted any of the authority that I demonstrate, have not accepted the responsibility that I demonstrate. But you must begin studying Godship. You are God's. That's who you are. That's who you are. God. You are gods of Yahweh. Gods of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's who you are. That's what your names say. And yet if I ask you, who are you? You might say, Sarah, Samson. And it doesn't mean any more to you than that? Jeremiah? Does it mean more to you than that? If you study your name, you will discover that you are God, connected to the mighty God. So you're gods of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh, Yahweh. That's why you must study and understand my ascension. You must study God's holiness and be just like him. You must study and understand God's holiness and be perfect as he is. For I am building the kingdom of perfection. What do you think? The kingdom of perfection is separate from you? I'm looking for citizens of the kingdom of perfection. I'm looking for those who wish to be citizens of the kingdom of perfection. It's all right with me if you want to hang around with my body or hang around with someone else's body, but that's not going to cause you to be a part of the kingdom of perfection. Hanging around someone else does not make you a part. Any more than eating pork and hanging around the righteous does not make you righteous. It just does not. When you eat pork, you're violating the laws of Yahweh. You're a lawbreaker. Hanging around people that do not break the law does not make you perfect. I think you understand that. I am building the kingdom of perfection. I am looking for you who desire to be perfect. And the only thing is you have not been taught how before. Well, I've given you knowledge. I've given you a class in how to study directly from me through Brother Kezion, directly from me to you through him. No excuses. You know how to study perfection in the Old Hebrew and in Greek and in English. You have a Hebrew lexicon, you have Greek lexicon, you have several different English dictionaries, you have your synonym finder, you have all of the tools that I've given you in how to study perfection. Those are your characteristics. You're not only to be able to say them like a bird, but actually say them and receive them as you. This is you. This is your character. Perfection is your character. That's what the Godhead is all about. Is my work in vain? Did I come to you for nothing? Am I wasting my time with you? Will you accept the challenge of being perfect? As your Father in heaven is perfect. Your Father is God. So then you must be as God. You must be as God. You must be as God. That means you must demonstrate Godship. Period. Period. No excuses. No excuses. When you make an excuse of not paying Yahweh yourself first, leaving yourself out, or you put it up and then you go find an excuse to get it, you're making excuses not to be perfect. You are making excuses not to keep the law. You are making excuses to remain in poverty. You are making excuses to continue laying in the morgue on the horizontal level, dead. You love the dead level? You must study and understand that I am your divine keeper. I accept that responsibility. I am your divine keeper. Does that mean that you have no responsibility? No. No. You are the divine keeper of all the families on the planet Earth. That's your responsibility. I am looking for those who are ready to assume their responsibility as God of the planet Earth.